It is far worse than most people realize. We are only at the beginning of a housing market downturn, not the middle and certainly not the end. What has already happened should be setting off alarm bells. Kensington alone has seen an average loss of £236,000 per property in just 1 year. That figure is real. The most expensive borough in the country lost 16.5% of its value while public attention stayed fixed on interest rate headlines. Westminster fell by over 14%. The City of London dropped around 18%. These are not gentle adjustments or healthy pullbacks. This is capital leaving the market at speed. Wealthy sellers are heading for the exits, and they are doing it for a reason. I have followed UK property closely for years, and the last 6 months stand out like nothing I have seen before. Something broke, suddenly and decisively. Not slowly, not in stages, but almost overnight. Once you understand what changed, the idea that the market is stabilizing starts to sound like fiction designed to buy time while insiders quietly sell. The first thing most people missed was April 1st, 2025. That date was not routine. It marked a sharp policy shift that hit first-time buyers hard. The stamp duty threshold dropped from £425,000 to £300,000 in one move. One day a buyer could purchase a £400,000 home without paying stamp duty. The next day, they were £5,000 worse off. But that was only the surface impact. The deeper blow came from the reduction in the maximum purchase price eligible for first-time buyer relief. That limit fell from £625,000 to £500,000. In London, the South East, and most major cities, that wiped out the discount entirely. First-time buyers now face full stamp duty on their very first home. Run the numbers. A buyer looking at a £525,000 property before April paid £5,000 in stamp duty. After April, that bill jumped to £13,750. An extra £8,750 does not appear from nowhere. Deposits are already stretched. Incomes are already maxed out. So buyers step back. They do not delay. They stop altogether. When enough buyers are removed from the market, prices have only one way to go. But stamp duty was only the spark. The real pressure was already building. The Bank of England released figures that should have dominated headlines. By June 2028, 3.6 million mortgages are due to reset onto higher payments. That is close to 40% of all mortgage holders. Every year until the end of 2027, around 800,000 fixed-rate deals at 3% or lower are expiring. Many homeowners locked in rates around 2% in 2021 or 2022. When those fixes end, the new reality hits hard. The average 2-year fix is now around 4.7%. On a £300,000 mortgage, that means monthly payments rising from roughly £1,200 to about £1,700. That extra £500 every month is £6,000 a year redirected away from savings and spending and straight into bank margins. Multiply that across hundreds of thousands of households and the scale becomes clear. Affordability itself has broken down. Mortgage brokers are seeing it daily. People with solid jobs, clean credit, and stable incomes are being declined. Not because they are risky, but because stress tests now assume rates of 7% or more on top of already high borrowing costs. Someone who could borrow £400,000 a few years ago may now qualify for £300,000. Same person, same income, far less purchasing power. When buyers can only afford 3/4 of what they once could, prices have to respond. Sales volumes in London are down sharply over the past year. This is not hesitation. It is paralysis. Transactions are failing because people physically cannot complete them. The government was aware this was coming. Official forecasts quietly project house price growth below inflation for years. In real terms, that is a decline. They are effectively forecasting falling values without saying so directly. National averages hide the damage. In Westminster, average prices are down around 16%. Hundreds of thousands wiped off each property. In Kensington and Chelsea, prices have fallen to levels not seen in over a decade. The City of London has seen similar drops. These are prime locations, not distressed areas. They lead downturns because informed money moves first. International investors have been exiting as well. The announcement of an annual levy on high-value properties sent a clear message. For overseas buyers, it was not just about the money. It signaled future risk. Capital is mobile, and it is moving to markets that feel more predictable. When high-end sellers decide to leave, they do not wait for perfect prices. They accept lower offers to get out quickly. That resets expectations street by street, then borough by borough. Prime London sets the ceiling. When that ceiling drops, everything beneath it eventually follows. The North has so far held up better. Prices are still rising in some regions because homes remain affordable on average incomes. But this is not immunity. It is timing. As southern prices fall and equity relocates north, affordability limits will be hit there too. This is one market moving at different speeds, not two separate stories. Repossessions are already rising. Owner-occupier repossessions are up sharply year on year. Buy-to-let repossessions are rising too. While current levels are below financial crisis peaks, the context is very different. Back then, rates were slashed rapidly. Today, rates remain relatively high and inflation limits how far they can fall. There is no quick rescue lever left to pull. Lenders are modeling for further stress, not relief. More households will struggle as cheap fixes roll off. Transaction volumes are collapsing, and when transactions freeze, prices do not glide down gently. They stick until sellers are forced to move, then they drop fast. What changed was not one policy or one rate decision. It was everything hitting at once. Stamp duty relief ended. Mortgage costs stayed high. Stress tests tightened. Foreign buyers left. New taxes were announced. Landlords faced rising costs. Confidence cracked. Officials will keep talking about stability. Portals will point to averages. Agents will tell you it is a good time. None of that captures the full picture. Prices are adjusting to reality after years of delay. That adjustment is not finished. This is no longer about what a home used to be worth or needs to be worth. It is about what someone can afford to pay today, with today's rates, rules, and incomes. Under those conditions, prices are still searching for a floor. The only unanswered question is how low that floor is and how many people are caught standing above it when the market finally settles. If you are finding this breakdown useful, make sure to subscribe to the channel for clear and honest coverage of global politics. It helps the channel grow and ensures you never miss important updates from around the world.